First off, I'm gonna say this. If you think you're above the law just because of what race you are and that stuff, you're clearly mistaken. Because nobody is, regardless of who you are, what color you are, and how much money you make. So, you may have heard the story about Bill Cosby. Like, he was a comedian. A comedian back in the 90s or 80s. And little children, you may have watched the Cosby Show or Fat Albert shows, and you probably thought this guy was a real good role model on how you should behave around the elderly and how you should, treat how you should treat the folks that you live with. And you thought Bill Cosby was probably a good example for being that perfect role model. Well, there are background stories that go behind the scenes of certain people that you may think that are actually real good role models to you. And they could go and do something behind the scenes that put you in a real big shock. Right. Like 50 or 70 years later. So, before I actually get back into this, I want to say, welcome back to the channel. If you feel, I would appreciate it if you comment, like, and subscribe to the channel, Charles Morris, in case you liked any of the recent uploads that I have uploaded to the channel. I deeply apologize because I haven't been uploading for a while, but most of the time I don't upload it because there's just no bigger stories that I can discuss on the channel. But that's not all of it. I mean, I still upload, like, amazing replays too, so anyway, let's get into this video. So, Bill Cosby had been accused by 60 women. Now, I know that number might be exaggerating to you, but it's true. What Bill Cosby does is he puts like some kind of substance in their drink and that stuff. And then what does he do when they become very unconscious and that stuff? Oh, he goes up and sexually assaults them. That's what happens. And yeah, this guy is a filthy, stinking rich comedian who thinks he's above the law, which nobody is. This guy thinks he's above the law. And he had a 3 to 10 year sentence. He served 2 years, and the court overturned his sexual assault charges, and this guy's now a free man. Now he's a loose sex predator on the loose, and his family's happy to have him back. I don't call that a big celebration right here. I would not be celebrating if I were you. If your family member knows that you've been put on Megan's Law and that stuff, why would they want to actually, you know, have a big celebration with you when they find out that you got out of prison early because some stupid Pennsylvania court overturned your sexual assault charges and let you off scot-free. It just gives me a really, really big question about the court system here in Pennsylvania. I don't even know if, well, my opinion is, this is Pennsylvania we're talking about, and here in Pennsylvania, I know they don't take stuff very seriously like New York does. I mean, some things they do, like running red lights, that stuff. But because his sexual assault charges have been overturned by a Pennsylvania court, I'm beginning to question the Pennsylvania court system. Why do we not just, you know, if there is a very, very big, serious crime that we commit, whether it's serious or not serious, like, do they just determine who gets to get off scot-free and, you know, like, judge based on what kind of crime we have or how much evidence there was? Oh, yeah, there it is. That's what I was looking for. Because there was too much evidence and that stuff, it was just like a big headache for the courts to handle and that stuff. And they said, like, you know what, we're not even going to try this guy again. They tried him in a civil court trial and that stuff. His attorney general had said that he cannot be charged in this case again, that stuff. And the one thing that got him in jail in the first place was one of the accusers, Andrea Constan. And I remember off of I don't know, that's NBC, is there was somebody say that jurors looked him in the eye and said, guilty, guilty, guilty. And this guy served his 3 to 10 year sentence. It was just 2 year sentence. He served his jail time for 2 years, and then they just let him off scot-free. The courts just decided, like, you know what, we're gonna let this guy out early. This stuff. There's just way too much evidence for us to handle and that stuff. It's just a big headache, so you know what? We're just gonna let this guy just go, because what further evidence? I mean, I say 60 women accusing him of sexual assault. I say that's pretty serious right there. I say I would, if it were me, I would have this guy, like, locked up for life. Or at least, if this guy, commits the same crime again, then at least he should get the death sentence. Because here's what we're doing in the United States. We're letting the monster off scot-free. And the job that the courts are supposed to be doing and the police is to keep people safe. And Pennsylvania is just not doing that. Why? Okay, number one, I think this guy got off because, because he was black. Obviously, I think this was something very, very racial. I mean, regardless of what race you are or what crime you commit, you should face the consequence. Our pledge says, at the end of it, with liberty and justice for all, it's not justice for, black America, or just white America, or Latinos, Mexicans, or whatever. No, it's for everyone. Everybody deserves to be put behind bars when they commit a crime. That's the way that it should be. Now, Pennsylvania, that court overturned his sexual assault charges. So, yeah. And here's the very disgusting part about Bill Cosby. After he was let out of prison, he went on to talk radio, and he says, "This is for every single black person who lives here in America. If you are feeling we should not allow black Americans to be treated unfairly," and that stuff. Now, you would expect this to be coming out of his mouth, because this guy makes a stinking amount of cash. And you know why he said that and that stuff? Well, basically, he denied everything that he did. He basically said that. He basically said, like, "Hey, I'm a black American," and that stuff. "I should be let off the hook because hey, I make billions of dollars and that stuff, so I should be able to get off scot-free." It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't matter how much money you actually make. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are, how important you may think yourself to be, and that's that. Liberty and justice for all. That's how it should be. That's how it always should be. And if, say for example, if somebody of that same race commits a crime and that stuff, they should not be found not guilty because of their color. Now, I also want to say, for example, that there's another thing that happened. I'm very sure you're all familiar with it. The death of George Floyd. This was a white cop being a black man. Or, no, not being a black man. Put his foot on his neck. And now, a year later, this guy, Derek Chauvin, a former white cop, is in jail because he murdered a black man. And why were people mad about it? And he said, no. He said, well, people are actual idiots because they think racism is okay here in America and that stuff. And they said, oh, this man deserves to be put to death and that stuff. Oh, yeah, that's what people are saying and that stuff. They said, like, a white cop should not be put behind bars for murdering somebody of a different race. That's not how it works. Derek Chauvin committed murder. And everybody knows when you commit murder, you're put behind bars. And you could be put behind bars for like 20 years or so. Maybe even more. But lesson here you should, you should actually be, when there's evidence that you committed a crime, no matter regardless of what race you are, and, you know, it's been reported, or, you know, people accuse you of doing something behind, or like, whether it's try to murder, or, you know, do something to another person, like, physically beat them, or whatever the case is, and that stuff, yeah, you have to pay the price. Now, for the court systems to, just overturn Bill Cosby's sex charge and let him go off scot-free and that stuff, it's absolutely wrong. It was sickening to a lot of people, and a lot of the women had been they felt like they were going to have huge knots in their stomachs and stuff. And can you imagine just, can you actually imagine trying to go to sleep at night and not being able to sleep at all because you know that this sex predator is out there, and if he ever tried this again and that stuff, then obviously the man needs to get a severe punishment, because this cannot be allowed. And I think the Pennsylvania justice system is pretty messed up. If no man should be able to get off scot-free when they commit a crime. Period. Doesn't matter what race. It doesn't matter who they are. Doesn't matter how much money you make. And that's pretty much all I've got to say for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what was said here, please comment, like, and subscribe to the channel, Charles Morris. And I just want to say, Bill Cosby is pretty much having fun writing. Well, he's probably happy because he got out of jail just because he was a black man, which is totally wrong. And before I actually end this video, I'm gonna say this, and this will be the last few words. Nobody is above the law, regardless of what color you are, what race you are, how much money you make, and it doesn't even matter where you're from. This is Charles Morris. Have a good day. I will see you all in the next video.